you know, I just want to remind you, nobody is coming to the rescue. I think like that is the one thing that I have learned as I've gotten older. Nobody's going to change your life until you actually change it. And you keep doing it. You keep taking those little incremental steps every day. Everybody thinks that there's somebody coming to the rescue. You know, there's two things that we do. So we think somebody is coming to the rescue, and we default to that. And I probably tend to think about that a lot more. And other people escape. You know, they get into alcohol and all sorts of other things to escape their life. But I just want to point out, nobody's coming to the rescue. How you actually change your life is you start doing it yourself, and you just keep going no matter what. So I'm doing push-ups right now while walking my dog. It really sounds funny. You know, you just have to keep going and taking those steps forward. And when you take those steps forward, don't expect much. When it happens, nothing is going to happen when you actually take those steps forward. Like literally nothing's going to happen. It's going to be such minor changes. You're going to be like, you know, this is pathetic. And, you know, the other thing you got to remember is don't beat yourself up when you want to take some steps forward and you don't get there and it doesn't work out for you. I think remembering tomorrow is another day. You get up and you do it tomorrow. I think that is the important lesson. You might not be able to tackle all that you want to tackle. And that's why you have another day ahead, is for you to actually get those steps forward in the following day and just keep going. I mean, that's it. I think about, so in our family, we help out a lot with our kids' homework. And I think about, you know, in families, when I was growing up, part of the reason why we help out so much is when I was growing up, nobody helped. It was like, you just did it. And there was nobody that was there kind of aiding you and coaching you. You know, my parents were great, but they just were not into education at all. And so me doing anything was just getting up and standing up and doing it. And it's hard. I mean, but that's the reality, is you sort of think about, like, just take those steps forward and, you know, just forget about, just forget about everybody, like, all the stuff that you might be thinking, right? Like, I'm not good enough, this is going to take forever, I don't want to do that. Like, all those things, you just keep taking those steps forward, and you just keep going. You forget about the rest of the world and just take those steps. And the more you get into that practice, the better off you're going to be. And the thing is, you know, that they have this model in psychology. I was just talking about this to a psychologist friend of mine, where it's all about, you know, stimulus response, or doing something. So actually trying to do something and then getting a response from it. And the problem with that is that most of life is about doing something and never seeing the response. You'll never see it. It just doesn't exist. And if it exists, it's many, many years down the road. And then you forget about it. So, you know, the key is just get up and get going and forget about the rest of the world, what they're thinking. And it's just you versus your own little tiny world, that little tiny area. And I think once you get into that practice of just doing it and forgetting about any outcomes or anything like that, good things actually start to happen. It takes an awful lot of time. That's really it. I mean, there's more. Everything in my life has been like that. You know, I was an overweight kid. I was, in special ed. I was, financially, we didn't have any money. And everything is about just, what's right, and you take those steps forward. And the more that you do that, regardless of what ends up happening, the more that you do that, the better off that you actually are. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.